welcome to Dialogues on India's Quest. In this program, we look at India's sacred heritage, its meaning, significance, and relevance to contemporary India. I'm delighted to welcome Swami Ranganathanandaji of the Ramakrishna Order, who embodies the highest aspirations of this heritage. Swamiji, welcome to our program. You just mentioned that there was a difference between religiosity and spirituality. What would you say that difference is?
That is a very important theme for us in India today. We may be secular in the political sense of the term, not aligned with any particular religion, but we have to develop character. A nation without character will get destroyed. Character doesn't come from the genetic system. That's the most important thing we have to remember. We think the body itself will give us character, nothing. There's a book written by one British biologist just a few years ago. The title is wonderful, The Selfish Gene. Richard Dawkins, that is his name. He says, this genetic system will always be selfish. It only will care for itself. But in society, we need values. To teach values, he says in that book. Where from do they come? We cannot say. They do not come from the genetic system. They do not come from the physical nature. Here, the only answer you get is from Vedanta, the ancient Upanishads of India, where they have studied man in depth and discovered a profound spiritual dimension, a divine dimension in every being, every living being. But in the human being, he has the organic capacity to penetrate into that truth also. It manifests as moral values in our social life, ethical, moral values. All values are spiritual. And so this wonderful idea, we may be irreligious, non-religious, atheistic, but men of character, men and women of character. This is what our India has to distinguish today. You may be absolutely secular, but you cannot give up character. What we did these 50 years is give up character, along with religion, everything. Our secular meant characterless nation, valueless nation. That's what we see today. So much of corruption, so much of evil, where from do they come? When the man is dominated by his genetic system, he becomes absolutely self-centered.
So what is the discipline that man needs to acquire?
Detachment from the body. I am not just the body. So far as a human being is concerned, he can realize himself as a profound spiritual principle embedded in the body. The use of the body as an instrument. But if a man thinks he is only the body, he must be selfish. He must be without any value system. That is, our sages have discovered it ages ago. And so we didn't think of a God sitting in the sky and all that. When you go 4,000 years ago in the Upanishads, you will find this study of man in depth. That study revealed that behind the body, behind the nervous system, behind the sensory system, behind even the mind, there's a spark of divinity. One infinite divinity in all beings is there because we have come from that, and that is there within us also. So a little awareness of that will bring values into human life. That is a great teaching. We don't invoke any devil or some God sitting in the sky, nothing. In this very human being, there are centers from which high values will come. Love, compassion, service, honesty, all this will come when that becomes manifest a little. That is the real contribution of religion, not merely dogmas and creeds and rituals, etc. Actually, religion is defined by Swami Vivekananda in the modern period as the manifestation of the divinity already in man. If it manifests a little, tremendous value system appears in the human being.
Swamiji, but what is this divinity? At the one hand, we believe that you don't have to be religious in order to have a value system.
Right.
But what is the spark of divinity? How would you describe this divinity?
We have described this as that infinite consciousness from which the whole universe has come, in which the universe even now exists, and to which it finally returns in the end. That is a great study undertaken by the sages in the Upanishads, the definition given in the Taittiriya Upanishad, yato va imani bhutani jayante, yena jatani jivanti, yat prayanti, abhisamvishanti, tat vijitjasasva, tat brahmeti. That reality from which the whole universe has come, even now it exists only in that reality, and to which it finally returns in the end. That is Brahman. We call the word Brahman or Atman. Doesn't depend on any word, but some word has to be used. Therefore they said this, it is infinite, pure consciousness, from which the whole universe of matter and later on of life have come. In a human being, that wonderful idea can be realized. He has the organic capacity to realize this truth. So the sages experimented on the subject, they discovered this truth. They will say, I have realized, not I believe. The language is, I have realized. You can also realize you are a child of immortality. Your body is mortal, something immortal in you. This is the profoundest teaching you get only in one literature, the Upanishads, and the Gita that follows the Upanishads. Nowhere else will get this teaching, though we have in the Bible a beautiful statement, the kingdom of God is within you. There is a profound statement, but you get in Vedanta. So we say to be religious is easy. You put on a mark on your forehead, you become religious. Or put on a cross in your neck, you become religious. Similarly in Islam also, something is there. But you remain what you are. You have not grown, you have not expanded. The greatest subject is how to expand beyond this genetic system. The word is vikasa in Sanskrit, atma vikasa. Beyond the genetic system, you expand, feel your oneness with this person, that person, this person. With that consciousness only, you can develop values, love people, serve people, we feel one with all. That kind of thing will come.
What is the technique that one uses to develop this state of consciousness where you feel this unity amongst all things?
Beginning with spirit of service. Service comes from a little spirituality within you. If only I am the genetic system, I will be absolutely selfish. When you read in the paper, when I used to read here, a young man marries, gets a big dowry, and burns his wife to get another dowry. You just study the mind of that man. That mind is completely controlled by the genetic system. If it was slightly otherwise, you will never do this thing. So value system is within you. You have to manifest it yourself. You are not to purchase it or go out begging for some God sitting in the sky. Not at all. Effort to grow spiritually, just like we grow as a baby in the womb. Such a tiny little blob is there. Then slowly a form comes. Then comes a baby. Then baby grows into a conscious person. Then intellectual development. All this going on. Continue that development. You will come to this realization as well, because it is within you. That is the profound teaching of the Upanishads. We call it Vedanta. No particular religion or caste system, nothing is there. Pure scientific study of man in depth. That is what brings you the sense of values. And such a person is wonderful, full of love and compassion, never be narrow, selfish, and violent. Today all these are there. Violence is there, selfishness is there, corruption is there, everything is there. This is the tyranny of the genetic on the human being. Animals cannot go beyond genetic control. The human being has evolved this cerebral system, power to think, power to detach, power to feel, I am somebody, I am somebody. The self-awareness has come. Today's neurology refers to this matter. Why man dominates nature today? No animal can dominate nature. Why? Because this self-awareness has come. It's a profound focus of energy in every human being. If a tiger had got the self-awareness, we would not be here. The tiger will eat us all up. That's what that neurology said. So here is a wonderful focus, but we must know what you know as your eye is a very limited thing. You must see its real depth, just like a rock. Surface of the water, in the sea you find the rock. Oh, it's a petty rock, we say. Actually, it's a deep rock. Go deep, an immense rock is there. That kind of study of depth dimension of the human being, that is what the Upanishads did, like any science. And today I'm glad to say, biology, having described human evolution and the dominance of man in evolution, has come to say, now we need a new science. Till now we had physical science, science of physical nature. Now we need the science of human being in depth, what Huxley calls it, the science of human possibilities.
Swamiji, in this science of human possibilities, do you believe in the evolutionary principle that man has evolved in the sense?
That is a teaching of India which has gone to the West. Evolution is an Indian teaching which went to the West through the Arabs. Finally, it came to Darwin, and the West opposed it because it is against their principle. Sudden creation, God has separately created human being. We don't say. Evolution is organic, before that cosmic, and now human evolution. It is that piece of subject that Upanishads have something to contribute to. What is human evolution? We have become human beings. We have got tremendous strength. We can destroy this world. We can destroy the whole of nature. We can also construct, create, and develop. Both capacities are there. To make the human being fit for that positive side, he needs this kind of education, spiritual education.
But what is the future of this evolution? What is the future, evolutionary future of mankind?
That is being asked today. In Evolution, a beautiful book is there. Sir Julian Huxley wrote to me, this is my best book, Evolution, a New Synthesis, where he says that this evolution of a human being, he has got the capacity to control nature. We must go in a particular direction. We have not found that direction yet, but if these things or conditions are satisfied, we accept it. We should be here only. We should be not in a faraway heaven or something, but here itself. Two, three conditions he has given. All these conditions are satisfied in Vedanta in presenting the subject. Here only, ihaiva is the word used again and again, Upanishad and the Gita. Here itself, fools are they who want to go to heaven. Here itself, the greatest heaven is in you, the infinite Atman. That from his universe came, that is in you, and the human being can discover the root of this universe, the source of this universe. That is the language of Brahmajnana, we call it. Knowledge of Brahman, realization of Brahman. He becomes one with all. He has no enemy anywhere in the world. All those descriptions you will find there. Absolutely a perfect individual. He has become infinite, though remaining in a finite body and functioning there.
How does the Indian tradition reconcile itself to sort of the modern scientific material world that impinges on our everyday interactions?
The first subject that confronts a human being is the external world. As soon as a baby is born from the mother's womb, he goes, hears so many sounds, lights coming. What is this? What is this? First question. What is this external world? That's called scientific study. After scientific study of that world, you come to no conclusion. Conclusion, physical science has not come to anything. Einstein will say, today's science is extraction of one incomprehensible from another incomprehensible. That's the final stage. So that points to a bigger mystery, the mystery of the thinking mind, the human mind. That is why in nuclear physics you will find the observer is considered to be not a correct word for that particular function. He is called the participator. That is how scientists have said about this. So participator is this. By his observation, the things change there. Therefore, he is called participator. That is self. So the finger points out in the beginning. Then finally, he points out, what is my nature? What is this thing called observer? What is this participator? What is his nature? That is a profound study, which I call science of human abilities, and nowhere else it has been studied, except in this country, in the Upanishads, and things following those Upanishads. Nowhere else, absolutely not.
Swamiji, this idea of observer as participant, very often the participant is a victim of modern scientific developments. For example, we become victims of pollution, we become victims of noise, we become victims of processes, the impersonal processes of modern technology. Where does the evolutionary principle for human beings, how does it cope with an intrusive external world, over which we have no control frequently?
When we deal with the external world, when we develop technology to control and manipulate the world outside, what do we get? Comfort, pleasure. Creature comforts you get, nothing more. It cannot give you peace of mind, it cannot give you a sense of fulfillment, nothing. But you go turn to the human being, what is in me? What is my nature? Let me understand. Many scientists are in search of that. This profound truth, the Upanishads compressed in a small statement, Tat-tvamasi, Tat-tvamasi, you are that, you are that. You are not this limited thing, that unlimited, infinite reality. That is your nature. That is from the Chandogya Upanishad, a father telling his son this profound truth, Tat-tvamasi, Tat-tvamasi, Shvetaketo, like that. Now, this particular Tat-tvamasi statement is repeated today by a nuclear scientist like Schrodinger. So this is the real truth. Tat-tvamasi, Tat-tvamasi, you are that, you are that. And Har, or a famous that biologist also, he also spoke of this. Tat-tvamasi is the truth. Man is not this limited thing. There is something unlimited. And if that man becomes manifest in you and me, the world will be a better world, a heavenly world it will be. We can make a heaven or a hell of this world. We have that capacity. That our philosophy accepts, and today's science also accepts it.
Swamiji, you have drawn so richly from the Vedantic and Upanishadic traditions. In what ways in the evolution of India, which has had so many invasions, have had so many influences, do you feel we have been perhaps enriched by these influences?
To the Upanishads, we owe almost all the brighter sides of our culture. Now, we have not utilized Upanishads fully because our society is anti-Upanishad. They spoke of the same Atman in every being, but we have treated millions of people in our country. So in this modern age, Vivekananda especially emphasized that we shall translate the vision of the Upanishads into a social vision, so that we shall have perfect equality. Every human being is great in itself. Every human being, man or woman, has got the highest possibility within. This kind of India we shall create, and this will be also all over the world as well. Vedanta is a positive statement of human freedom, equality, and sacredness of personality. That is the Vedantic dictum. We kept it in books. We never practiced it. This time we shall practice it. He calls it practical Vedanta. That is a special message of the Gita. Gita is the best book of practical Vedanta. It's not a creed or dogma that is given there. You can experiment and try to realize it for yourself, whatever the Gita tells. That is what you call the yoga of the Gita. Not the usual type of yoga, but yoga actually means, the definition is beautiful in the Gita, 2nd chapter, yoga karmasu kaushalam. Yoga is efficiency in action. What a profound definition. The IAS, when we formed in India, they took this as their motto, yoga karmasu kaushalam. So they have not manifested it fully, only a few people have done it. So what is this efficiency? Only one type of efficiency is described in modern Western thought. Practical efficiency, productive efficiency, agriculture, industry, produce more, that's true. But one aspect is neglected. What about the human being himself? Is he becoming better? Is he becoming richer as a result of work? So Gita says, if you combine two types of efficiency, you will have yoga. One is productive efficiency, the other is personality efficiency. I also must become better and better and better. After a whole, say, 50 years of labor in the government, I retire. I become a minus quantity. That should not be. I feel that work has made me richer. That second one is very important as far as man is concerned. Otherwise, he will become just a machine. Take a machine and throw it in a scrap heap. That's what we do in human being now. That Veda teaching will change it. We will have productive efficiency. We will have personality efficiency as well. That's called yoga karmasu kaushala. So Krishna says to Arjuna, Tasmat yogi bhava Arjuna, be a yogi, be a yogi. Today India will say to every worker, every type of worker, agriculture, industry, administration, everywhere, be a yogi, be a yogi. Not a fancy, mystical, magical yogi, but real character efficiency, both external work and internal development. Be a yogi is the supreme message that will be given by the Gita today to all our people. We live with a view to experimenting to see whether it is true. That is what one has always said. Don't take what I say. In the language you will find, Vedahametam, I know that truth. Purusham Mahantam, the infinite man behind the finite man. Aditya Varnam, glorious like the sun. Tamasa Parastat, beyond all darkness. Then he says, Tameva Viditva Atimurtameti. You must realize this truth for yourself. then you can transcend death and delusion. There is no other way, there is no other way. That is the shloka from the Shvetasutra Upanishad, which Swamiji quoted in the Chicago Parliament when he addressed, you are not sinners, you are children of immortality. Amatasya putraha. Everyone is a child of immortality. Even an insect is a child of immortality. But his organic system cannot realize the truth. But evolution takes to human level. This human being has that capacity. Let him express it and develop it. That is all Vedanta wants humanity to do. To continue this evolution, you take evolution in your hand. Nature did it till now. Human being can do evolution by himself or herself. That is the profound truth, modern biology, ancient Indian thought.
But the end product of this process of evolution would then be what? The merging of human consciousness with the universal consciousness?
There is no question of merging. This consciousness itself sheds its limitation. It becomes what it was. What is now is a limitation, but it ceases to be so. This body limitation is the biggest limitation. Body is a great instrument. Body is also a great obstruction. Both are there. You can use it as a servant, then it is all right. Use it as a master, they are never gone. That's why people become immoral, unethical. They keep the body as their master. That should not be. So that infinite one is my true nature. But I don't realize it. I think I am still small, a little one. All these things we see. Just like our people today. Each one is great in India, in our democracy. He is a citizen of free India. But you think, I'm a poor man, I'm a weak man, all things they will say. But your basic structure is a citizen of free India, democratic citizen. That awareness, if it comes, you will find a dignity coming to human beings which they never had in their lifetime. This kind of thing, both in political language and spiritual language, it is the same. Human dignity, human equality. Everybody has only one vote. Nobody has two votes. Even the president also only one vote. That's called equality, absolute equality. That is democracy, Vedantic democracy.
Would you say that Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda represented two facets of this quest?
Ramakrishna realized all the profound utterances of the Upanishads which they had realized at that time. In this modern age, he lived. In fact, according to Romarola, his life of Ramakrishna, he said, Ramakrishna is the consummation of the 2,000 years spiritual life of 300 billion people. That is his estimate, perfectly true. He just lived in his life everything and left to Narendra, Vivekananda. He himself made him the instrument. Carry this out, so that external action is what Vivekananda did on the basis of this, after his own realization of the truth. That is what happened.
Would you say that this sort of feeling that, or the conviction that the truth and India's heritage derives almost exclusively from the Upanishads and the Vedanta has been somewhat abused, and so we now have a form of Hindu fundamentalism?
It can never be fundamentalism. Absolute freedom. Where is fundamentalism? Vedanta means absolute freedom. You have freedom to do, to think, to act. That's what Vedanta is. Fundamentalism, in the correct English word, correctly correct. Fundamental means the most important part. That way is correct, but not what is usually understood by the fundamentalism, means going back to untouchability, going to caste system. That is called fundamentalism. That is not there today. Nowhere in India there is a desire to go back to that kind of a decayed period, what we lived upon, that nobody wants. I don't think any political party wants it, not even individuals also. But fundamental, in the English correct sense of the term, the most important is fundamental. That way we can say it is fundamental. Truthful. Yeah.
But when that conviction to truth, or that insight of truth, is perceived as being an exclusive insight,
it cannot be exclusive at all. It is individually, everybody has to do it oneself. Nobody else can do it for somebody else. Just like Shankaracharya said, if you eat yourself, if you take medicine yourself, you will get rid of your disease. And now the doctor taking food or taking medicine. So in this matter, I have to do it myself. He has to do it himself. Everybody has to do it himself. That is the idea. There is nothing like imposing. Everybody is free. If I don't want to proceed further, don't want. Just like a student doesn't want to go beyond class 4. It's up to him. We want him to go, but he doesn't go. He remains at a lower level. What can you do? That kind of thing.
But what is the relationship of this philosophy to other techniques and practices for insight and to be a good human being. I mean, different religions, each one of them believes that human beings don't want suffering and they want happiness, and offers a different worldview frequently to arrive at that.
The beauty of this philosophy is this: it takes man where he finds him and tells him there is something higher, something higher. So in Bengali they say, "Ege jao, ege jao, aage badho, aage badho, aage badho." Just like a child, he takes a toy. You give toys to child. Plays with toy. After some time, I want books. I want books. I don't want toys. That's called growth. This kind of growth must continue beyond this mere intellectual development. That's called spiritual development. Intellectual development doesn't make for spiritual development as it is. Intellectual people can be most spiritual, most without value system. Today we can see highly intellectual people going down for little 100 rupees bribe. He can be purchased. So intellectual development is not enough. Something more is there. That is what called human development for all. Everybody is eligible for it. It is your birthright. You don't have to beg, borrow from anybody. It's your own right it is. That's it. Pure Vedantic, democratic attitude you get in this.
Swamiji, you had initially earlier spoken about India's secular structure. And what I've been sort of struggling to understand is the role of different religions simultaneously being practiced within this larger secular structure,
right.
And some religions feeling that their techniques or processes are superior to the others. That is a sense of conflict.
Anybody can feel mine is superior, that is superior. Don't do that. Keep it to yourself. But so far as darshan is concerned, everybody is free to bring out of his own religion, out of her own religion. We don't trust anything on anybody. The state is secular. It is absolutely secular. There is no question at all. But it is not unspiritual. Then values will not be there. Spirituality alone can bring you value in your system, but it is not connected with this religion, that religion. Every religion has value system, though it is very often restricted to the particular religion. Nobody else can receive that value. But our country says values must bring out from your own religion if you can, otherwise bring it from any other source, but value system is essential. Without honesty, you can't have a government. Without honesty, without a society, without integration between man and man, you can't make a society. It will be just a crowd only. What makes a crowd into a society is some integrating principle. We call it dharma. The value system is called dharma in the pure sense, as you find in the Mahabharata. In the Karna Parva, Shri Krishna himself is defining dharma. Dharanat dharma ityaho. Dharmo dharayate prajaha. Because it holds together human beings in a society, because it integrates man with man in society, therefore it is called dharma. That is what is needed to make a society. A crowd becomes a society when there is an integrating principle. That must come from within each individual. You cannot purchase in the market, you cannot get it from the parliament by law and regulation. No, it must be a growth from within, from the physical to the spiritual. That growth is most essential for India, England, America, everywhere. No country can do without this integrating principle coming out from within oneself, not through law and regulation. But if you develop that spiritual thing within, it's nothing to do with magic, mystic, nothing. Pure human growth. One dimension you grow, baby's weight you take, 7 pounds at birth, then 20, 30, 100, 200. Beyond that, no physical growth is worthwhile. Intellectual growth, you don't commit to memory the whole dictionary. You just intelligence you develop and understand what is there. That's called intellectual growth. There's a limit. But spiritual growth is unlimited. You feel your oneness with the whole world. What a wonderful development. An individual, yet universal in outlook, universal in sympathy. That is the type of Buddha. What is Buddha? The end of human evolution is Buddha. Infinite compassion. What a wonderful idea. A Jesus in infinite compassion. That is called evolution of man at the real spiritual level. Physical level we have come. That is why today's biology tells you organic evolution has no meaning when nature evolved the human being. Now only evolution, moral, spiritual, other evolution. They don't know what it is. Because from their study they cannot get it. It is a higher level. That is what India did. What is the next evolution of man? That is spiritual. How moral values, ethical values, feeling oneness. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu is language in Sanskrit, that people all over the world be happy. We always told like this in the past ages in India. We never thought of one particular group, one particular section here, but humanity as humanity. Let them all be happy. Even the animals, we say, let them be happy, let them be happy. That understanding of oneness becomes possible because you realize beyond this limited body, something unlimited in yourself. That is the Atman, that is Atmajnana. We call it Adhyatma Vidya, science of man and the Atman, science of spirituality. We call it Adhyatma Vidya. Vidya is a word for science in Sanskrit. So two Vidyas, Aparavidya, Paravidya. Aparavidya, ordinary knowledge, that is physical science, and all connected with physical science. The other is Paravidya, spirit of the realization of the imperishable reality behind the perishable world. That reality is called spiritual, infinite consciousness. And a man like Schrödinger, great nuclear scientist, he says consciousness is a singular, it is just no plural. It is a singular, it can never have a plural. That is pure consciousness. That one is in you, in me, in all. That awareness makes you feel one with all. Is to Gita puts it in a simple language, I am the thread that runs through all the pearls in a garland. What a beautiful idea of the divine. That is the idea, is Vedanta upholds, by which I, remaining a limited individual, my sympathies go round the world, covering everybody. Limited, unlimited, both are there. Physically limited, spiritually unlimited.
Swamiji, in describing the evolution, in a sense, of India over the millennia, you have said that India has moved from different stages. You have tamas, you have rajas, you have sattva. Could you explain what you mean by that?
For the last 1,000 years, our society can be described as tamasic. No energy, no activity, except eating, drinking, and personal, that's all. So that tamasic state we passed through. Then came the dhakka, I call the push from the West culture. That gave us a new awakening. It could have destroyed us, but something in India keeps it alive. That is the Upanishads. India owes this continuity of culture through the Upanishads. In no part of the world you will find a literature like the Upanishads, study of man in depth. So what happened? This Western push could have destroyed many cultures. We were also getting out of control in the 19th century. But Upanishads acted once again on our mind, and we started rajas. First stage is rajas. There is no place from tamas to sattva. First you must pass through rajas. And now for the last 50 years of independence, we are passing through tremendous rajas. So sleeping sections of people are awaking. They struggle. They want a place under the sun. They are not going to sit quiet. So you find conflict. Social conflict is bound to happen when a tamasic society tries to become awakened. That is what is happening in India today. Sections after sections who are lying low, who have been exploited for centuries, they are getting a place. We have got our own place in our society. So they struggle. This struggle will go on. Another 50 years more, this kind of struggle, and then slowly a stability will come. Yes, I have a status, you have a status, nobody is below. So then will come the real growth of India. This is also growth. It's necessary for that other growth. But the real India will come another 50 years later, when every system, every section of society gets its own place. In a democracy like ours, we have preserved our democracy in spite of many weaknesses. What you call, Bhutto referred to India's democracy as a faltering democracy. We are a faltering democracy, but it is still democracy. Therefore, if we can continue like this, some time will come, people have got their status, every group, every untouchable, lower level, Dalit, all these things, all will come up. Then will come the real growth of India. And then our impact upon the rest of the world will be tremendous. Generally, when a nation expands, just like Greece, when they united all the states and became Grecian state by Alexander's father, it expanded. How? Military. All Western expansion, even Chinese expansion, has been military primarily. But India's expansion has been ideological. Our ideas spread all over the world. Throughout the ages, that is what happened. Say, 4th century, Plato, Aristotle, Adam, Plato and Socrates. One British writer has written a book, The Message of Plato, and he says there, you can't understand Plato and Socrates without understanding the Upanishads. Upanishads influenced tremendously when Socrates is drinking poison. One scene is described there. Crito, one of his friends, said, Socrates, how shall we bury you? Socrates smiled. He said, you want to bury me? You mean the body? As to the body, do with it as you do with other people. I am not the body. That is teaching about Upanishads said, I am the Atman and the pure self, birthless, deathless, that is the Atman. That knowledge is never found in Greek. That is why he had to die. He learned something beyond Greek political thinking. So he had to die. Suppose he was in India, he would have been honored, would have been worshipped. Same thing in Jesus. Such a great soul, he had to die. Why? They couldn't digest this higher spiritual thought. In India, nobody dies. Vivekananda, in the modern period, criticized the Hindu religion, our social practices, more virulently than any foreign missionary. But we have honored him, worshipped him. That is India. The spiritual aspect, we know how to recognize, how to really appreciate, and also try to follow as much as we can. That is one thing that has to be kept in view. India has passed through so many stages, sometimes very low. Then some great teacher comes, Buddha comes, a Shankaracharya comes like that, a new awakening comes. This happened in the modern period. We were on the brink of disaster, but out of that we have become stronger, still stronger than what we were before. Vivekananda predicted modern India will develop in such a way far superior to what it has done earlier ages. That is going to be worldwide in influence as well.
But wouldn't you say that that process now seems to be reversed? And with the inflow of foreign television, with European, Western ideas in many ways, are sort of defining global culture.
At the beginning, we get what you call very much confused. What is all this like that? But slowly going on to it, you get assimilation. You digest it, you use it, make a servant of it. That we will do in course of time. Today we are not in that condition. We are still not strong. Many of our people do not know the essence of our own culture. Many of our educated people do not know what is the strength behind India's continuity. It is continuous. What is it? Why is continuity? Egypt had to die away. Greece had to die away. So many other countries died. India did not die in spite of 900 years of foreign rule. Imagine that. 7 years of foreign rule in France during Hitler's time. France was shaky, but slowly it is all right now. We have got 800, 900 years foreign rule. We never got disrupted at all because of that inner strength. That will continue now, and you can take for granted India will never be a military aggressive nation any time in the history. It has never been so in the past. It had energy, it had military power, united empire, but only our ideas have gone. Take Ashoka, sending out his Buddha's message of harmony in peace and tolerance in religion through rocks and pillars, edicts. He has sent up to Alexandria. He has sent his ambassadors like that. That is the India of the future also, the same India. Never aggression military on other nations. That is India's blessing. We have done no harm to anybody. We have been harmed very much. But today, you will see that we are not harmed again. We shall not harm others also hereafter. That will be India of the future. Vivekananda stands guarantee of that. He has repeated it again and again. Like the gentle dew, I'm quoting his one famous sentence, like the gentle dew that falls unseen and unheard, yet brings into blossom the fairest of roses, such has been the contribution of India to the thought of the world. Gentle, unperceived, yet omnipotent in effect. He did it. When did he did it? We do not know. Because history records only violence, war, such things. Not gentle influences, no history will record.
You know, for an individual Indian who wants to discover his roots, who wants to discover and experience this heritage, how important is the role of a guru?
In any system, even in physics, we need a guru. Modern physics, at a very high level, we need a guru. Only we didn't invest him in that guruship, that's all. Actually, we need a guru. The higher you go in education, the more you need a guru. And a new baby also needs a guru to educate it in the alphabet in the beginning itself. So we only put a certain sacredness to that word. Knowledge is sacred. One who confers knowledge is very sacred. That is why consider your guru as a god. That is teaching in the father is a god, mother is a god. The first teacher is mother, second teacher is father, then comes the guru. All these are in the Upanishad mentioned there. So in India, we have forgotten the guruship so far as university teachers and students are concerned. But I went to Indonesia. The word guru is used for every teacher in Indonesia. The disciple is called Shishya, Shishyaha, Indonesian language. Same Sanskrit, Shishyaha and guru. They have retained the word. We have not retained even the word in today. That is why our university, there is no guru-shishya relationship. And in America, teachers are afraid of students. And one lady went to a school, I saw in the magazine, American magazine. Students told, "Madam, you are coming here. You will have something to learn here. You get good warning, you wake up the very first day itself. This is happening." So it is good to invest. Knowledge is something sacred. Any knowledge is sacred. You know, in India, every knowledge is sacred. A carpenter's knowledge is sacred. Saraswati Puja Day, all these things are put before Saraswati. Saraswati is the goddess of every type of knowledge. Medical instruments are put before Saraswati during Saraswati Puja. That sacredness of knowledge has gone away in today's secular thinking. That must return again. Knowledge is really sacred. What is animals have no knowledge, only genetic, what you call imprints are there. But a human being is to learn from somebody, he gives you, and you will feel better. You feel richer thereby. We say in Sanskrit, Vidya Dhanam Sarvadhana Pradhanam. Knowledge wealth is the supreme wealth among all the wealth, is the language of Sanskrit. That, when it comes, Guru also will come. Reverence to the Guru can come only when you understand the significance of the Guru-Shishya relationship. That will come once again. I wish our education, say university, no silence, you go to a college, no silence, all noise. How can there be knowledge without silence? I go to colleges, you go by, always noise, noise, noise. No silence at all. The higher knowledge cannot come without some silence. So these are all the things which we have to undergo change to better. It is better. It is not fundamentalism. It is going to fundamentals of human life.
What does this sort of shishya, this student in the university who wants to experience, who wants to study and learn of this heritage, in the absence of access to a guru, what does this young person do?
The teacher who teaches in a college is to be treated as a guru. And he must deserve it also. He doesn't deserve today. Teacher also doesn't deserve any kind of honor like a guru. But students do need that. So both must change. The guru must be fit to be a guru. Then the student will respect. And one thing I can say, if there is a good teacher, people do respect him like a guru.
Swamiji, you have been a Swami and you have been a monk for more than 65 years. Have you ever regretted being a monk? That maybe that there were other things that you might have been able to do? Do you ever feel inhibited by the fact of being a monk?
I respect every householder as a monk. I respect every householder. And my latest book was a lecture in Chapra in Hindi on Grihastha Dharma. There I have shown the greatness of the Grihastha with one shloka from the Manusmriti, wonderful shloka. Our Grihasthas had lost their self-respect in India for some centuries. That just must go. They must realize their new status through understanding the old idea and the new idea. What are the new ideas? You are citizens of India. You are not a mere Grihastha. You are on your shoulder, the whole of India remains. Democratic India. That makes you taller. The other is, you support the whole society. The brahmachari student, Vanapastha retired man, sannyasi renounced man, none of them earns money. Only one Grihastha earns money. He contains all the three. Therefore he is great, says Manusmriti. Yasmat trayopya ashramino, three ashramas. Dhanena, jnanena, annena, channaham. Through knowledge and through anna, food, you are supporting. Grihasthenaiva thajante. Grihastha alone takes responsibility for it. Tasmat, yeshtashrami, grihi. Therefore, grihi is yesthashrava. See what a beautiful expression. Our grihasthas have forgotten this status. It must return once again. They are citizens and grihasthas. They are only within the little griha. No, you must go across the neighbor, the other person. Today, Panchayat Raj will help them to develop a kind of national attitude, human attitude, not merely a little I and mine attitude. That is what the grihasthas usually do. They don't care what happens to the other man. I am only caring only for myself. That grihastha has to die. A new grihastha must come with this broader vision as a citizen of democratic India and as a friend of a neighbor. This kind of thing will transform the Indian situation. This is what we want. The human situation in India must be healthy, progressive. That will come only through this. Then our democracy will be truly a democracy. Every grihastha is great that way.
But Swamiji, isn't sort of this commitment to being a good citizen of India breeds a kind of nationalism that creates conflict?
No, not at all. One beautiful thing, without being a national, you can't become international. Otherwise you will be merely a very flimsy type of person. You have some root in it, you have here in the soil, here you expand only. You don't become rootless and become international, no. So a good Indian will become also a good international, what you call, figure. I repeated that Vedanta says, Mahatman is a very being. We express a human being, not in terms of his sex or his caste or his religion or anything. The divinity within makes all of us similar, one and the same. The same divine is in you, in me, in all. That attitude will make you national, international at the same time.
Swamiji, you have written extensively on the Vedanta and a whole range of issues affecting our lives and our striving for perfection and happiness. In recent years, one of your areas of special interest has been looking at science and spirituality and science and values. And I have here a book with me called Science and Human Values, and you quote here, to quote you, it says, physical science is neutral. It does not give any kind of value judgments. Surely with the rapid acceleration of the impact of science in our lives, doesn't that inevitably lead to a diminishing of values that people like you promote?
In physical science, when you use the word science, I put the word adjective, physical science, because there is the moral science, spiritual science. Today many people accept it, so physical science is the correct word. It's not exhausting all science thereby. Today we are asking, scientists themselves asking, in the beginning we give up all kind of attachment and all value systems, everything, so that we could be objective. Now they say, value system cannot be removed. We need it, but we can't provide it. Science cannot provide it. Matter cannot provide it. It must come from some other source. There I told about Vedanta alone understands the source from which all values come. They do not come from the sky. They do not come from any god or devil. It comes from within yourself. The depth dimension of the human system is divine. This is the supreme teaching by experience of the sages of the Upanishads, and later on Gita also, Buddha's teaching also the same. So today even a scientist wants values to come in. We may not have it for physical science, but values are needed. Without that, human life will become absolutely a meaningless thing. So they search for values. Spirituality comes from that. Being spiritual is being value-oriented. All values are spiritual. Love, compassion, service, they are all spiritual. Nothing physical, nothing material. This is the nature, nothing genetic. Biology itself will say they are not genetic. So we need it. So we are turned now to the concept of values. All over the world, there is erosion of values. All over the world. America, England, or so whole Russia, full of erosion of values. China, just now we saw in the paper, erosion of values. But without values, society cannot go on well. So the great search for values will bring them to this great subject, science and spirituality. Be spiritual, and values will come naturally. Be spiritual, that is your nature, the deeper dimension, permanent, eternal dimension. Manifested, values will come. That is a very simple matter. You are not to beg and borrow from anybody. It is your own nature. That is a wonderful idea. The more we preach it, the more we shall find a more happy, peaceful world developing around us. As it is, there is violence, increase of violence everywhere, civil violence and external violence, all these are going on. So it is a world problem and not merely national problem. So how to become peaceful, how to love each other in a family. Say, for example, husband and wife, love. Today's biology gives us a little insight into this subject. The raw individual, controlled by the genetic system, can never live at peace with another person. But if that detachment comes from the genetic system, some expansion, what you call vigasa, comes, then you can live peacefully. Two words are used by Sir Julian Huxley, the great biologist, to represent this idea. One is called the individual, the other is called the person. Though usually we use this interchangeably in our talk, but now a precise meaning is given. Those who are controlled by the genetic system, they are called individuals. Those who have detached from the physical system and expanded a little, that's called a person. That person can always live at peace with each other. Personality of the wife, personality of the husband will make them very peaceful. Individuality of either one of them or both of them will make for constant conflict and trouble. That is because the genetic system is selfish. Here is a beautiful idea. Sri Ramakrishna puts it in a wonderful language. There are two types of I in a human being, what you call self. One is called unripe I, kacha ami. The other is called ripe I, paka ami. Paka ami is personality, kacha ami is individuality. So two individuals will constantly quarrel.
Swami, to become this paka ami, how important are specific practices and techniques like meditation?
These are all very good with objective clearly in view. As a means, they are wonderful. Meditation, as well as reading great books, great holy books, these are all very important. Once you set your goal, then these things are helpful to you, very important. More than that, the spirit of service. Try to help people. What can I do for you? I'm a clerk sitting in the office, secretariat, somebody comes from a village, what can I do for you? If I ask, I am a person, I become person. No more individual. That is not happening in India.
As 71 years as being a monk, committed to the service of the community in the spirit of Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda, what aspirations do you now have for yourself? You have served the community for so long through your intellect, through the institutions you have created, through the things that you have done for people. What aspirations do you have for yourself now?
My two aspirations are there. I must remain steady and grow in the same line. But the other is my country and the world outside must also be very happy and cheerful and more peaceful. People must learn to live in peace with each other. I will be very happy when such things happen, and I work for it as far as I can. How to make the world Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu is a Sanskrit prayer. May all beings be happy. That is a Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Vashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkabhak Bhavet. These are very traditional words coming from ancient times in Sanskrit. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, that all people be happy. Sarve Santu Niramayaha, that all people be free from various ailments, physical or mental. Sarve Bhadrani Vashyantu, that all people experience what is auspicious and what is good. Ma Kaschit Dukkabhak Bhave, that none become subject to any kind of sorrow or misery. This is the universal prayer in Sanskrit coming from ancient times. That is a beautiful idea. All the world will be able to live in this light, then there will be peace throughout the world. This human being can become an instrument of peace for the whole world. That is India's vision of a peaceful world.
Thank you very much, Swamiji. It's been a great blessing.